So the question is, why do it suck to be white in prison? Well, the truth is, it's a lot of reasons, many reasons, but one of the main reasons is because a lot of white boys that go to prison is weak. And that's just the truth of the matter of the fact. And honestly speaking, in prison, a white dude now becomes a nigga. So, yeah, that's how I typically go. But before I get into that, let me give a disclaimer before we go any further. Not all white dudes, I'm going to say white dudes because it's the difference between a white boy and a white man. And I'll tell y'all the difference. A white boy is going to get victimized, extorted. 10 times out of 10, he's going to get his cheeks clapped. And that ain't even negotiable. That's going to happen. A white man is going to fight. He might get his cheeks clapped. He might get extorted, but he ain't going to just lay down and just take it. No, he gonna fight. He gonna get that knife and get that knife work going. Now, in every prison and every, it's different in every prison. It's different in every region of what's allowed and what's not allowed. I was locked up in a prison where older gang members, well, I ain't gonna say older gang members, certain, how can I put this? Well, forget it, don't matter because people talk about this all the time in these prison videos anyway. But you got Crips and Bloods that's doing life, and I guess their rule was no homosexuality at all. But then they all had meetings and they said like, well, forget it. If anybody got 25 years and up, you can be with a punk. Now, like I tell y'all all the time, I can't tell a man how to program. That it is what it is. As long as you ain't, violating me or stepping on my toes or messing up my business, I don't give a damn what you're doing. But the moment you do something that might compromise me and my team, well, then we got a problem. But nevertheless, at the core of all things prison related, if you are white and you come into prison, 9 times out of 10, you are going to get raped. You are. It's not even really, how can I put it? The chances of you not getting raped is like really slim to none. And a lot of time it be your own people. I know usually y'all get that, that stereotypical look of the black guy that's 6'8", 6'9", buff, bald head, you know what I'm saying? And him taking advantage of a white boy, but no, most of the time is their own kind though. Yeah. Most of the time is their own. Look, like when I was in Maddox prison, right? It was a certain organization that if you they were, it was a white organization too, in Maddox prison, MADDOX, right? It's a USP. Like they approach you, and it's only like 3 organizations in there, right? They approach you and they be like, yo, if you get with us, you say no. Okay, cool. Then another organization, keep in mind this is white organizations. Then another organization come, hey, you getting out with us? Nope. Okay, cool. Then you get another organization, the last one of the 3 white organizations. Hey, you getting with us? No, I'm a Christian. Okay, cool. Right? Then you find yourself, as a white boy, going to the shower or whatever. And because you ain't got protection, and you ain't get down, because you got to get down, you have to click up. It's mandatory. You ain't got you got a choice not to, join the organization. Sure, you do. You got a choice not to, but this is what this going to result into if you don't click up. So now you find yourself in the shower. You got about 6 or 7 white guys that ain't got no morals and whatever, and they go in there and violate you. And when I say violate, I mean clapping your cheeks, whatever, hold you down, whatever. Now, there is the rare, and I say rare, that, there's some white guys that, they just got that bravado about them that they don't need to click up with nobody. They, I guess to be frank with y'all, they was that, when you say, oh, he that nigga, well, you could say, yo, he that white boy. So it was the rarity of them type of dudes that was in there that wasn't going for it. And, for one reason of another, they displayed a certain level of extreme violence. To put it quite frankly, they'll kill you. One thing about prison, though, is that we all did what we did to end up in prison, whether you innocent or guilty. And 99.99%, we guilty. But one thing that I never could understand is why the punishment of, and it's some black organizations and gangs also that I just couldn't get with, that if you violate, when I say violate, let's just say they send you to go do something, you mess up the play or whatever, their punishment is to take your manhood. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, why result to that? I'll tell y'all why. It's easy. I'll tell y'all. I ain't gonna leave y'all scratching your head why the punishment always gotta be that. Well, think about it. A lot of these dudes come to prison. It's not even prison. A lot of these guys go to juvenile. They get juvenile life, right? That means they come in when they like 14, 15, 16. Age out when they 21 and then get shipped to the prison, right? To the big boy house. And then so that means they ain't never been with a woman. They ain't never laid with a woman at all. So that sex drive don't go nowhere. And then you can look at it vice versa. You got these dudes coming off the streets that's always, chasing tail out there in the street, sleeping with this girl, sleeping with that girl. And then when they get locked up, that sex drive don't go nowhere. And then y'all gotta also understand, a lot of these dudes ain't disciplined. This is why you will see a cat in there. He probably resisted the first week or 2, a month, 2-3 months. But now Peanut and Coco and Peaches is starting to look like something, right? And then next thing you know, he done ducked off and done, you know what I'm saying? One might say, yo, Dante, why are you even making this video? Like, what's going on, bro? Talk to us. I'm going to tell y'all why. I just had COVID, right? This my 4th day, and I feel way better. That's why I'm talking slow right now. But I just, throughout the last 3 days, I've been tossing, turning, hot, cold, having the window open, afraid to jump in the shower, because I don't know, man. When I first, like, let's say day one, when I got in the shower, I didn't want to get out that shower. It felt so good being in that shower, but when I got out that shower, I felt like garbage. But, hey. But anyway, I was laying in the bed and I just thought about my past. And this white guy, I told y'all about him already. White boy Larry from Flint, Michigan. And I remember, when he came to prison or whatever, I told him, like, stay away from this certain individual. And, Larry ain't had nothing. Larry was basically a bum in the streets or whatever, but not really. He just didn't have nothing going on. He used to go to the blood bank, donate plasma or whatever, and that's how he got his bread. And, there's nothing wrong with that. Get your money how you get it, man. As long as you ain't doing nothing illegal. So anyway, Larry would find himself in prison. And, like I knew Larry from around the way. I didn't know him personally. Like, me and him was, out playing basketball together, or, hanging, or, macking on bras, anything like that together. No, nothing like that. I just knew him in passing. So, anyway, when he got there, and I seen that he was hanging with this certain individual, and I knew how this individual got down. And, this individual will basically wine and dine you. And he really liked the white boys. And yeah, he was a black guy. Yeah, he'll wine and dine you. He'll, give you fresh white teas, fresh black teas, give you food, give you everything that you want, right? And especially, this is like, you like, what? I ain't got nothing, and this dude looking out for me? Man, shoot. Man, this is a blessing. No, it ain't no blessing, because what you gonna have to pay. Hey, but anyway, I warned him to stay away from the guy, and, he told me that he got it, and, and shortly after, about 2 weeks ago by, I stopped seeing him. He stopped coming to the yard or whatever, and I sent word back, like, say, what's up with the white boy that, it's over there. Word came back that, he ain't coming out of cell. He in the cell with, such and such, and I already knew what time it was, but I didn't have 100% verification of what actually happened until like 3 days later from that. And I seen him out there all dialed up. In prison, people wonder, like, how these people be getting these colorful, like, streaks through their hair and wigs and stuff. Well, what happens is you can take a mop head, get some water, fill up like a bucket or something to fill up your sink, and put a whole bunch of like Skittles or Jolly Ranchers, preferably Jolly Ranchers, because it hold this color more better. But you can just, fill your sink up, get that color, that dye in there, and then just have that mop head sitting in there for a long time so that the mop head will absorb that color. And there you go, there go the wig. And hey, that's how the white boy Larry was, man. He had that wig on. He had he had his pants altered to look tight on him, and he had his white tee, but it was like, y'all know how the women would it be like tied up in the front. So when I seen them, man, I'm like, damn, I told them to. But you know what? Here's the thing, though. I don't be feeling bad no more, or more than likely back then, because sometimes, and I know this gonna sound weird, but sometimes some of these cats already got that in them. I mean, just think about it. You know, one of the questions people ask me is, yo, do you think dudes get, was they already gay before they came in there? They more than likely, yeah. Or maybe it's a dude that's battling with his sexual identity or whatever. But either case, if you a type of dude that's battling with your sexuality or whatever, you come to prison and don't worry about it. You go choose a side real fast. Okay, it's gonna get brought out of you. You ain't even gotta fight that war no more. Okay, cause this motherfucker, hey, I done seen that happen so many times. Let you come in there, not sure. Okay, you not being sure is already the decision has already been made for you. Okay. The decision have already been made for you. All right. Look, I'm laughing right now because I remember it was this white boy named Richard that came in there. Oh, hold on, man. Hold on. It was this white boy named Richard that came in there. So Richard, this is where they were still selling tobacco or whatever. And the white boy Richard, he kept, I don't want to put the dude name out because he married into the family, and it's, never mind, I ain't gonna say that. I'm just gonna say this. White boy Richard, he was told that line like, I don't know what I really want to be. I don't want to be gay, whatever. But, I don't know what I want. So what he would do, he'd go in between the guys that, he knew that liked him, and would get a lot of tobacco from them, whatever, in hopes that, the guys, and it was black dudes, the guys would give him tobacco, cigarettes, ramen noodles, hygiene, clothes, all type of stuff, because they felt like, and I know this gonna sound sick, but it is what it is, they felt like, they was courting them, right? And I guess they just liked the thrill, like, okay, he ain't really gay, but I want to have him first, type of thing. And I remember he would go in between like 3 different dudes or whatever, and at the end of the day, when let's just say this all took place maybe in 2 weeks, a 2-week span, where you got these 3 black dudes competing for this white dude love, right? You see how this sound crazy, right? So after like the 2 weeks, these dudes start getting aggressive with him, like, man, hey. But he ended up checking in the hole. He ended up checking in the hole, and it was funny, man, because the dudes was like, they was snapping out. They was mad. Man, what the man? Oh, hell no, I'm gonna kill that bee. Right? I don't know, man. Y'all, prison is it's a weird place, man. Prison is a weird, strange place. And one thing I have to say is that most people, most guys, When you hear about prison, that's the first thing you hear is, oh, I don't want to get great. That's like the biggest fear. I don't want to get great. Well, here's the thing, man. If you weak and you white, it's going to happen. I ain't going to sugarcoat it. It might not happen the first day that you get there. Might not happen in the first week. But if you see a guy, if you notice a guy being extra friendly with you, always around, always trying to strike up. Now, don't get me wrong. You know, there's people in there that just want to talk or whatever, but you got to be able to read the room, you know, read the signs. But if you got a guy that's overly friendly and he always offering you things, giving you things, understand nothing in prison is free. Absolutely nothing. And if you're going to be that damn gullible and, you know, accept these things, well, understand what comes with it. Now, if you ain't willing to pick up a knife or a piece of steel or whatever you need to do to carve out an example on somebody's body that's trying to press up on you or trying to do the unthinkable to you, then, hey, it is what it is. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to my movie and my gaming channel. I'm going to have that link pinned at the top of the comment section. Also, y'all subscribe to Stacy's Storytime. She's tell phenomenal stories just like myself. And if y'all feeling generous, make sure y'all leave me a tip. I'm accepting Cash App, Zelle, and PayPal. Until next time, y'all take care. I'm gone.